actually had an interruption just as we wanted to go live from Kubuk that probably caused the mic issue because I had to pull it out and put it back in. And I think it just stopped picking it up. We can see now the mic is working. Yeah. So we have very good news.
That's what we were trying to say
earlier. Forward.
Before everything got messed up.
You're so soft compared to me.
You're so loud compared to me.
Yeah.
I'm normal.
Okay, I'm abnormal. That's fine.
Anyway, oh, cool. Oh, it worked.
What worked?
I paid up from Payfast into my account, into the OHM account, so that we can
Don't
pay.
say mine. Yeah.
Sorry, so that we can pay for all the things.
Okay,
cool. The good news is the IEC has not contacted us. Actually, I almost had a heart attack because I saw an email from the IEC now when I went onto my laptop. But it's an invitation for training. Means that it's a green light, it's a go, we're on the ballot. It's almost pretty much confirmed. The IEC, according to the election timetable,
pretty much, it
is confirmed. I know, I'm always like unsure.
There is nothing else now.
So
the 18th was like hanging over all the parties' heads because they had to be contacted by the 18th by the IEC if there were any problems with their submissions, with the money, signatures, or whatever the case may be, and then they would get 2 days to rectify it by the 20th. So that's basically how the timeline worked.
Isn't it awful? Just 2 days to rectify any problems? That's there's no time.
Imagine they said we found out that some of your signatures were fraudulent or something.
And then you have to go collect like another 1,000 or something. It's horrible.
Yeah, that's what happened to the MK party. They were told that some of their stuff was fraudulent that they submitted originally when they registered the party.
Oh, okay.
No, I wouldn't say fraudulent. People probably just gave the wrong IDs and so on. They handed in the paper.
Yeah.
Without checking first. Maybe they should have checked first. So that's very good news. So OHM is definitely on the ballot.
Okay, quickly. The only email I've gotten from IEC has to do with training. So they have not contacted the OHM either by phone or by email to say that they have problems with anything. So that's good news. That's amazing news.
Yeah.
So the next thing is that they'll analyze the candidates. If any of the candidates have been to jail in the past 5 years, they will tell us, and then we'll have to get a new candidate.
Yeah.
If any of the candidates
are next.
Are not registered, we know they're all registered to vote. If there's any issue with the candidate, this is the next
they've
thing.
double booked themselves.
Or they've double booked themselves.
Yeah, there's many that do that. They try and see which party they get.
And that's not allowed.
And they don't tell the parties.
No.
They actually allow them to fight it out and decide which one they pick.
Beautiful.
So
that's the next anticipation is candidates for parties, that is, on the timeline. And then it's just campaigning.
That's
campaigning.
So there's a question from Shona. You can put the own poster on a street light where there's a paid poster, yes.
Also, only one party poster per poll. So one poll can have many parties on it, but only... You can only put your party's poster on one poll.
Yeah, you can't put 2 of your party posters on the poll.
No.
Let's make it simple.
So you can't have them facing both directions, like some people have tried before. Only one poster per poll.
In where we went in the Northern Cape, the DA has 2 posters on.
It's not allowed.
They break the rules all the time. In fact, they even get the tax-paid workers to remove their posters. I've caught them doing that. It's disgusting. How they flaunt the rules of the IEC by giving people muffins and flipping all sorts of things on election day. And they're not allowed to do this. Also walk up to people, grab them by the arm and pull them to their gazebo, which is not allowed. So cannot.
So I just want to answer Margaret quickly. The most good news is that the IEC did not contact us within the time period set out by the timetable to inform us if they have any problems with our submissions or documents, meaning that there's no issue. There's no issue with what OHM did.
OHM is on the ballot.
When we submitted on Friday and paid on Friday with all those documents and everything, they're happy. They're happy chappies. So we absolutely 100% contest.
So all people can oppose against now are candidates.
Candidates will be the next thing.
And
I can't foresee that being a problem with us. Other parties, it's a bit of a nightmare, but not for us. I just want to highlight again. I covered this in the training yesterday, but Shona brought it up with regards to rules.
Only street lights, nothing else.
Only street lights.
We don't have to mention the rest. The posters may only go on street lights. And you can print your own posters if you want to. If you want to print posters on Corex or whatever, do it. and put them up.
If you see deviations,
Fundraise for it.
Once you know the regulations and you see deviations, you're welcome to call the IEC and report it.
Do it yourself. Don't moan at Lauren.
I'm not gonna, as a party, because we're going to get picked on. So it's better that the citizens of the country report what they see. So there are rules with elections. If you read the Electoral Code of Conduct, which all parties have to agree to, we're going to have to sign that at some point. It's interesting that you cannot campaign, actually, for I think 2 days before the elections. This is why when you set up info tables at the voting stations on election day, you're not allowed to call people over to the table. If they approach you, you can talk to them, but you're not allowed to call or lure people over. Now, a lot of parties do this. It's against the Electoral Code of Conduct. It's not supposed to happen. You're not supposed to campaign. People can approach you, that's fine. You can talk to people after they've cast their vote, but you're not supposed to actively campaign. And many people don't actually know this. Everyone's supposed to have a break from being campaigned at so that they can make an informed decision. And I just wish people had more integrity in how they conducted themselves on voting day.
But I spoke to Lauren this morning. I want to interview Lauren on the manifesto, the OHM manifesto, which basically lays out the political plan. Because we have a social plan and we have a political plan. And they need to work together to make things work. Last night I did a very quick live stream on the social plan. And tonight I will do a live stream that will give you more details and specific pointers. But the political plan is a very different beast altogether. Because it involves politics, it involves elections, it involves changing the electoral system, the governance system, the legal system, the school system. I mean, how many things? It's almost everything. It needs to be enhanced and improved.
Yeah, well, the education system will naturally be changed when we change the government structure, because now local government will take care of curriculum and everything. So instead of national government dictating that the whole country follows caps and everyone sits in a communist-looking building on uncomfortable chairs, wearing horrible shoes and uniforms, now local governments can decide how they want to administer education. I'm sure in the beginning, local governments will make use of the infrastructure available. But now, if a community gets together and they decide they want public schooling and they give government funding for public schooling, you can make a Waldorf school if you want. You can make an eco school. You can do whatever school you want. I believe that we will flourish as a country if we give children freedom to play and be kids instead of being industrial work slaves from the age of 5.
I think another very important thing that will happen in a new system is people will be willing to come forward as candidates that never would have entered politics.
I hope so, because this is kind of hinging on the fact the success of this society
but it will, because you're running now as an independent. So you're going to see other independents saying that they're running, and you're going to think, I'm not happy with that person. And people are going to start saying, hey, but I think I should do it. And I think it's going to be very healthy, because now in Parliament, there might be factions of independents that side on certain things. Those things will happen. This is normal. There might even be parties formed outside of Parliament.
I would not call them
groups
parties,
of factions.
No,
they're not parties,
organizations.
Like you have in the US. You cannot stop things. You can actually make regulations against it if it's a problem. But you cannot stop people from associating with each other. That can absolutely happen.
Well, it's
However,
the same way.
How difficult is it to buy 400 people their loyalty instead of just a party? You can buy a party with 15 million rand every now and again. Ask the DA, okay? But you cannot buy 400 people like that. It's far more expensive. So I can go into a lot of detail why the system is so much better, because there's so many wise idiots out there with people, low IQs trying to come up with things that the DA say.
A lot of people also say, but candidates can just be bought, but the voter still has to vote that bought candidate in. And we are counting on people, especially with our Amica program, being more educated when they place their votes, asking more questions when they place their votes.
That's why Amica is part
as much as you can say candidates can be bought, the voter still has to vote them in. When a party's bought, the party chooses the candidates. So it's a much better form of democracy. The other thing I wanted to say was with candidates...
You must write all of these things down when you are interviewed, so you can throw it out like that.
Pages.
Poof, poof, poof. The thing is, these are important factors that people don't consider. So we should have like a long list of these dunce questions that people ask because they're not educated or intelligent enough to understand. But thanks for joining us. There's over 50 of you early in the morning. We all have to go and work. Lauren works non-stop. But we wanted to bring you the update. What's the financial update right now?
It kind of stops at 111,111.
Is it still there?
Yes. Well, no. I've got an extra. I looked at the notifications.
Did you get or did Owen get?
I said, I received the freaking notification. Me.
Okay,
I received a
okay.
notification. I'm an admin person, yeah.
Okay.
Me. Admin person.
Lauren needs an admin person.
I'm getting there. We got someone to help with a huge chunk of admin. Thank goodness. Huge burden off my plate. But I'm still Mrs. Financial Manager. Yes. Oh, one person. That donation came from one person. That's amazing. So I did a payout of Payfast into Nedbank to pay our suppliers. So we have 1,000 Rand in Payfast, but then we should have like.
But you had 19,000 in there.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I.
Okay.
We.
You meaning
we.
Everyone, yes, collectively.
Collective you. This is taking forever. Okay, so that money that was in here is going to be here.
Oh, okay.
It's payday this weekend. Oh, is it that soon?
This
nice.
weekend.
She's right.
Yeah, hopefully at month end it will help for people to have some funds to part with.
We're already going to be 10 info packages and 1,000 posters richer, which I think is awesome.
From what has come in already.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need another 20 info table packages minimum. If we get more volunteers, then we'll want more info table packages.
But at the end of the day, you can only do what you do for where there are people willing to do something. There's no point having posters and you can't put them up.
Yeah, it's true.
And there's no volunteers to man an info table package because a package is very prominent. You can't miss it. I've seen no other party with a package that like visible with the flags and the.
It looks super cool.
Yeah, the A-frame, the tablecloth, and the gazebo.
No, I've seen some.
With everything. I haven't seen it once. I've seen the gazebos with a tablecloth. I've never seen with flags and the A-frame as well. And so the thing is, those things you can actually buy separately. Are you saying
we could actually do a cheaper package?
No, I'm saying, well, obviously you can just buy flags that someone can put on the side of a table. I would get lots of tablecloths and just flags. Or the A-frame. I would just print tons of A-frames. And then send that to the areas where people don't have a gazebo necessarily, a branded one.
Yeah, but they can wear a cap.
Well, no, they can put up their own gazebo that they might have. Or why can't people fundraise in an area for a package? If they want to know it's coming to them, they can fundraise and say, yeah, we have the money for a package. This is the price, and add it to the total that you order.
Good. I have no.
That's why I'm a project manager.
Yeah, you are. Thanks, Marlene. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, those flags are very visible, Margot. But at the end of the day, it needs to attract attention and give a message. I think all of them do that, though. Yeah, the internet is just slow at the moment. Since yesterday, it's been bad. So Cape Town wasn't that affected by the internet outage, but now it's really starting to slow down. So I don't know what's happening in the meantime. So I hope you're all doing great. We had a good rest in the Northern Cape. I feel very well rested. I don't know what Lauren and the kids. The kids looked a bit pup. It's a long trip. It's like 7 hours, I think.
I'm very confused. It's out of Payfast. It's not in here.
Yet.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. You need to look at how much was in Payfast and add it to this. Right?
Yeah, I think so. Unless it's like not showing in the statement, but it's showing in, I don't know. No, it can't be. Okay, but it looks like it's, yeah. We grew a little bit yesterday. Let me see. 18th was yesterday, right? Yeah.
But what's the totals? That's all people care about.
Wow. No, we got a lot extra yesterday.
Okay.
We got about 8,000 more yesterday.
What? That's a lot. That's
okay.
excellent.
That's amazing. And that is basically we can buy.
So
Technically,
you should be at around 120.
Yeah, we can buy. Well, the rest has to clear. Then I'll know for sure. I can't remember the hundreds at the end. That means we
were
can
at
get
111, so it's about 120
another
now.
info table package. I think I'll change our order to add another one.
But if there's anyone that wants to add one for their area specifically.
Okay, Margot's getting quotes on button badges. That's awesome. Okay, so
But people can print posters the way they want as well and learn from their mistakes, because if you do Corex and you stick a poster on it, it's a recipe for disaster. We saw ANC posters in the Northern Cape lying around that people just ripped off a post. So you need to think about that. Corex. We saw a Corex poster that's completely folded over because it's just not physically as strong. So that is why most people use hardboard. There's a reason for that.
someone's asking, anyone in Worcester?
Yeah, there's definitely people in Worcester.
But if you want to be a helper for Worcester, please.
But yeah, like Phil says, tablecloths must be cheap, man.
Yeah, they are cheap.
Print like in bulk and send it everywhere.
$6.90 to be. Oh, we have one member in Worcester. Wow, we have work to do.
Well, now there's maybe a second.
WJK, are you willing to be a volunteer in Worcester? Have a poster up in Worcester? That would be great. Just send me a message. Send Owen a message. Where's your numlock? There we go. And then I'll add you to the volunteer list. We need help in putting up posters, help on election day, being at a table or observing. So there's many ways you can help. Also with campaigning leading up to the day.
Well, you can imagine they're putting posters up against the lamppost in Worcester. There's many roads there that many people take through to Robertson and those places. Yeah, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
But we really have a chance to get a voice in Parliament. And many people will say, someone said, some lone brainwashed person said on Twitter, but you won't even get 1%. And I'm thinking, like, the percentage does not matter. What matters is that we create awareness for them, that you get mainstream media attention. That's already happened. With radio and TV, and that'll happen more and more as time goes by. When the media gets wind of the parties that actually made it onto the national ballot that hasn't got issues after the 20th, that might leak, because everything's leaking from the IEC at the moment.
Lots of leaks.
And then when the ballots are approved, that'll be made public, and then the media will definitely know who's on the ballot, and then it'll go through the roof. Especially when you start a massive movement, you retweet the tweets I put out or the videos that we put out. If you do that and more people get to see it, and the own videos that go out, that helps to create media attention. They look at the size of your social media following. It actually matters. So if you haven't subscribed to Ohm's YouTube channel, do so. It's almost at 4,000 people. And if you look at the social media reach that Ohm has, it's massive, isn't it?
It is. Well, we were fortunate that we inherited Move On Millions groups as well. And the largest Move On Million group was over 500,000 South Africans. So that's really, really amazing. And I think it's been a huge blessing. A lot of people got to know about Ohm that wouldn't otherwise. And
but those groups need activation, yeah.
Well, we have admins.
Yeah. Okay.
They post on them all the time.
Okay.
The other thing is, so our normal Ohm page that's been there since the beginning of time has finally reached over 10,000 followers. Took a while. For the first, probably 3 years, we never paid for ads. So it was organic growth. And then we started paying for ads. I think especially during lockdown, people commented on how they noticed Facebook's reach has changed. So it's almost like you have to pay for ads to be seen. So we do that now. What? Is that me? In a live stream. Oh my goodness, bye.
Yeah, go on, sir.
Could be the IEC saying, sorry, we're late.
No, it's not. I think Lauren is paranoia about that at this stage. So, One thing that's very important now is that we're raising our funds. Now that there's so the IC can't be late. It's not possible because they had a 5 o'clock deadline to inform the parties. But what is super important now is that we raise sufficient funds to get sufficient people to know about OHM. Most of the people that find out about OHM's plan, initially they will say, yeah, but you might actually not get on the ballot, or yeah, but you might not get a seat in parliament. If you look at all of that
was insurance.
How annoying. You should just have ignored them.
I should have campaign messaged them.
Don't send this. Okay, well, it's obviously trolls that do that. Send them on to companies, the OHM's number to try and block it. And the spam mails you get all the time, it's ridiculous. You need to set more forward.
The amount of spam mails I have is ridiculous. On one specific email, the amount of spam mails we get, it's definitely things you have to subscribe to in order to get them. That wasn't you, Ruth. What? So someone's gone and taken an info at Organic Humanity Movement and put that email in every newsletter imaginable, because it doesn't. I have a lot of emails, a lot of different emails with the different @, like a Gmail or whatever, and I don't get that level of spam there. So thank you to whoever did that. I have a suspicion of 2 avenues of who it could be. But anyway,
organizations, they have teams of people doing this.
Yeah.
Very effective. It is illegal if you can catch them. Very difficult to do that. It's possible to find out who actually did that. But I mean, the whole idea is that you then waste time and money on it instead of just ignoring. So the best strategy is always ignoring. We'll speak about that tonight. But the important thing now is that we raise sufficient funds to get enough info packages on the ground. And then we need to consider building for 2026.
Everything.
Local government elections.
The posters we can salvage, because posters will get stolen. It always happens. Posters will get destroyed by weather. Whether it's hardboard, even hardboard has been destroyed in certain weather conditions. So we always lose a batch of posters. I say we get to rescue about a third, which is tragic. Wish we could do more. Depends on the theft, I guess. Maybe if we really put them high, less will get stolen. But ultimately, the design we're using can be used in the local government elections. The gazebo packages can be used in the local government elections.
They're evergreen. They're not just for these elections. You can put stickers on your car. There's people that have done that. You can have magnets made. So almost just tell them about all the visual media that you've created that people can actually use. I mean, it's everywhere.
Yeah, we have t-shirt templates. You can print your own t-shirts as long as you use our templates. So you can request to get access to the folder with all the templates. And we have the poster template. We have flyer templates. So if you ask for access to that, you can print it all yourself. We just ask you not to take OHM's logo and make your own stuff, because I have no control of what craziness
that's illegal.
you're going to do. Interestingly, the ANC completely allows their members to create businesses out of selling their merchandise. I think it's almost smart, because that way you get more merchandise out there in the world.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a very bureaucratic process they put in place.
But you know what happens? It creates infighting.
It does.
And that's the one thing I want to avoid. Unless the Kiwi asked the question, but how can you be the self-appointed leader?
Okay, so I did that interview on the phone, and then I went yesterday and watched the video. I can't believe his arrogance throughout that whole interview. How he's like laughing and giggling. Laughing and giggling at what? His own reflection? I don't know. Anyway, I would love to be invited back to have an interview with him in the near future. He's just such a rude human. He's always just had something against me, because it's not just OHM. It started from Leave Our Kids Alone days. So maybe he thinks that our children should learn CSE. I don't know.
He probably does, yeah.
I'm not a fan. He probably doesn't have kids of his own. Doesn't look like a family person. Anyway, so that was interesting. I'm looking forward to doing a lot more interviews. I thought Matthew's interview was amazing. If you haven't watched it, go to Newsroom Africa and go to their videos, and then maybe Des will put the link in, and you can go watch that. I think it was awesome. It was only like it was 7 minutes, 7 minutes in total. So it was very short amount of time, but a lot was said in that short amount of time.
Yeah, I think a lot was covered, definitely. I'll see if I can find it.
So let us know, please, the number I put in the chat, if you're not a member and you want to volunteer in any capacity, whether it's campaigning or helping with collecting media contacts or helping with putting up posters or helping actually on election day, please WhatsApp 066 556 9940 so that I can put you on our Excel's volunteer spreadsheet so that I can put you in some place somewhere and know what's happening. No, that's not the way you look for it. Goodness
They have
gracious.
tons of interviews.
Efficient. Thank you. Oh, wow, for you. Oh, the algorithm knows you. 3 buttons. Thank you. Share. And thanks for all the Omis for really being on top of the comments in these videos. It really is awesome.
But that video can be shared more.
Yeah.
It's only at 1,600 views. So
thanks, Ruth. Thanks, guys. Yes, Margot, I agree. I was actually quite shocked when I went and actually watched. Because on the phone, body language isn't necessarily conveyed.
Yeah.
It was very interesting.
Yeah, but I think he got reamed by the members. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's going to get worse. We warned you people that the moment OHM goes mainstream, it'll have massive resistance. And people will ask anything to make OHM look stupid or decrepit or small. Who knows what small-minded thoughts he's got because he's not explaining them. But it doesn't matter. There's many other mainstream media outlets that will go after OHM much harder. And when it happens, OHM will grow exponentially because the message will convert people, not the media. The people that are converted by mainstream media is not the people we are targeting.
I would rather be on media regardless, mainstream media, so that normal people can hear OHM's message, even if the presenter or whoever is not in favor. I'd rather have that and have the exposure.
So let's just share again the Payfast link. That is how long ago we have shared it.
I shared it yesterday.
No, not here.
Not here.
No. No, you did not. So,
okay, yeah. So we're still looking for donations. Listen, we're going to be asking for donations forever. I'm going to make an infographic today.
Yeah, this needs to continue.
Which you can go and share with all your friends, families, neighbors, whoever. And ask strangers even to just pay 20 Rand or whatever. Share it on your own Facebook profiles. If they believe in system
change, there you go.
So this infographic and our fundraising campaign is not just targeted at members. It's for the public that believe in the plan.
And many people in the public have donated. Hundreds of people have donated.
And then this donation is going to continue into 2026 elections.
It needs to continue.
Do you know the price?
Monthly with Payfast, you can do monthly deductions.
Yeah. You can set up a monthly debit order. And we have some of that. So thank you so much. We have to contest local government elections. If you literally contest in every single ward in the country, it works out to the same price as what it costs to contest national government elections. Because it's 1,000 Rand a municipality. And
so you need to raise those funds as soon as possible.
There's 4,000 municipalities, but you pay 3,500.
4,000 municipalities, that can't be true.
4,000 wards. Sorry. Yeah. And then it's either
23,000 VDs.
In a metro, it's 1,000 Rand ward, or it's 3,500 a metro, or it's 2,000 a district and 1,000 a local government. And if you add it all up, it's a lot of money. So we're going to be contesting local government elections. That's the one thing I wanted to mention. So I got this question twice. No. I got this question many times, but twice very recently. And the question is, are you going to be the ballot in my area? So are you going to be on the ballot in Robertson? Are you going to be on the ballot in Valgom? Are you going to be on the ballot in some random place in the country? This is national elections.
It's not local government.
We're going to be on every ballot except for provincial government. So of the 3 ballots in every ward, we're going to be on 2 of those ballots.
Yep.
So in local government elections in 2026, then you can ask me, is OHM going to be in this area? But it's national government elections and it's provincial government elections. We're not contesting provincially. We're contesting the 2 national ballots. And yes, we'll be everywhere.
And this is the one thing that people don't consider, that if you look at the wards in which contested in the 2021 local government elections, and you could expand that to the rest of the country, would have gotten many seats in parliament.
Oh, yeah, because we only contested, I think, I can't even remember.
Very few.
Very few. Maybe like 30 municipalities. I can't remember.
Very few.
I do have it somewhere on my computer, but we didn't contest everywhere.
No.
We contested in very few places.
Very few. So, I mean, the votes that got was in those few places.
Never thought of it
That's
that
what
way.
I have.
Yeah.
So, I calculated that very easily could have had 2 to 3 seats then with the amount of votes that was getting. So you need to be everywhere. So this will be the first proper reflection of support, because people will be able to vote for everywhere. Then they were not able to.
Yep.
And it's quite sad.
So if you didn't put yourself forward for a candidate for the national elections, please do so for the local governments. As soon as the elections are over, you can contact me about being a local councillor in your area.
And then there's by-elections happening soon in April.
Yeah.
2 by-elections.
Indeed.
So we have other campaigns to do before we do the national campaign. And those are important. They're in Pretoria.
Mogale City. And Tshwane.
Tshwane, okay.
Has grown enormously. Yeah, we have grown a lot. It's amazing. We have a lot more people know about us. And I think it's really positive.
So, think about, like I said last night, the parties that have spent billions in getting the country in its chops, where it's battling, struggling, etc. And this, I include the DA in this. The DA has literally had billions in campaign funding. Billions. The ANC has had billions. Maybe the EFF has already gone to $1 billion, I'm not sure. But the DA has been there since the beginning. And they were the DP that then became the DA. Same thing. It's still the same Zionist control. It's that simple. So if you look at the amount of money, if you handed that money to will win these elections, hands down. The money that they have for one election campaign, that they spend on one election campaign, are hundreds of millions. If you hand that to will win the election, hands down.
I must also just say, I can't imagine that we'll officially hire officers in every province and every municipality or anything like that. We'll operate like a movement forever.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yes, but this is the thing. They are not changing the country. It is just about control and bums on seats. So they will never improve things in the current system. It's not possible. They've proven it for how long now? Now it's all become a get rid of the ANC campaign. How dumb can you be? You cannot have a high intellect and think like that. So it's dumb people that think this way, that are swayed this way by mainstream media, that are swayed this way by the DA. And make no mistake, the DA leaders look down on those people and use them like cattle. They speak of them like that in their meetings.
Alex Krill has had an unethical interaction with the party. They're not supposed to do that. It's against the Electoral Code of Conduct. If citizens know this, I'll share the actual physical writing with you.
They can actually be removed from the ballot, or all their votes can be made invalid for doing that.
But we as a party don't want to make those complaints. You as educated citizens need to raise it.
You as a citizen should make those complaints.
So...
Do you know what, Andries? It's not just going to be just like Abraham Lincoln was a lone man with an idea. He came up with an idea and he realized that only he can drive this idea. Approach people personally, one by one, and convince them to get rid of slavery in the US. It was the most unpopular, most ridiculous thing in most people's minds. How on earth are you going to do this? How are you going to remove? And remember, it was the Democrats that wanted the slaves. It was the Republicans that removed slavery. So a lot of people get that wrong in history. So Abraham Lincoln went to people across the line and spoke to them personally. So as a human being, We need to change this. And many times he had to visit those people over and over and over. OHM is going to have to do that. And you need a person that's willing to do that. That is why OHM is not fighting with other parties for seats. When people say that, that is dumb. That's not what OHM is doing. OHM is trying to convince people to put a new system in place. If those people can't be convinced, then OHM needs to become the majority to achieve just that. And in the meantime, you have a social side that makes sure that the country remains as stable as possible in the wake of all the plans that global elitists have for South Africa. So it's a big undertaking. I don't think anyone has ever undertaken what OHM is undertaking.
No.
Because it's not a political game.
Not.
It's very real and very serious. We will all lose our freedom. If the UN's Agenda 2030 is implemented in South Africa by 2030, you can say goodbye to your freedom, guaranteed. And the DA will be at the forefront of driving this nonsense. So will Herman Mashaba's Action Essay. So will Neil de Beer's UIM, because they all believe in the UN's Agenda 2030 and the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. You ask them personally, the ACDP, ask them and see what they say. You will not get a single one speaking out openly against the United Nations and their agendas. OHM has done so in official statements before, and maybe you should do that again, because I think you'll really get a lot of support.
We haven't done official statements in a while, hey?
Yeah. So thanks so much for joining us. I have to get ready for a meeting in 15 minutes time.
Yep, and I have a million gazillion things to do.
Yeah, but it's wonderful that you could join us again. And yeah, OHM is on the ballot. You're going to be able to vote for OHM on the national ballot and the regional ballot. Everywhere. So you can tell everyone these are national elections. Don't bother with a provincial ballot looking for OHM, because OHM wants to do away with provincial
government. The reason there's two national ballots is because it makes way for independent candidates. So half the seats are allocated for independents. But if there aren't enough independents, then parties that contest regionally have a seat.
Well, we already know there's very few. Was it 16? So I know it wasn't going to be easy for a single person to get 1,000 signatures even. It's not easy.
It's not easy.
And the money's not that much though.
It would probably you'd need a full year or two to get the signatures. And this is why with OHM's plan, we also have signature requirements. I don't think they're unreasonable. It's 2,000 for an MP, 5,000 for the president, maybe more. That's something that can be debated in Parliament when we're passing the legislation. But
so other parties will be part of the debate.
So your journey, if you want to be a presidential candidate, your journey is going to be a long one. You're going to have to really rally people's support and get their signatures over a period of time so that you're ready by the time of elections. So I think that those barriers are important, but they mustn't be unrealistic. I think 1,000 is fine, but for the time frame, it's not enough. I mean, they
had very little time to get 1,000 in.
We didn't even have the official IEC forms until this year. So it's
the IEC hadn't even trained the parties on what it means. Still not. They are still busy doing training.
So just think about it as an independent candidate running for councillor, having to collect 1,000 signatures. You're going
not for council, though. You said councillor.
Council, yeah. Council.
Yeah, it's not 1,000.
No, it's not 1,000. It depends on your size of your constituency. Yeah. So say 500. Mayor is 2,000. MP is 2,000. You're going to have a long-term plan.
In the new system.
In the new system.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
You're going to have a long-term plan, and you're going to be in your job. And over 2 years before the elections, you're going to be collecting those signatures. It's not something that's going to happen overnight.
It's not going to be jumped on you. You'll know beforehand.
But I also think it's a good thing because it shows you really want it. Because you're doing
it's super important. It's super important that those restrictions are there, that there is proof of support. It's just when parties jump it on people and they say, no, it was available since July of last year. No, it wasn't. That's not true. The IEC didn't even have the forms to do it on. When Lauren asked them, how can we start? They couldn't even tell them.
They said the forms aren't ready. The forms aren't ready. We kept phoning them. Eventually, I think it was November, they said, just use Annexure 6.
Yeah.
So
don't think that the parties had all this time. It's not true. What happened in the Concord ruling was problematic. And I see Zondo is starting to try and have a clean exit from the Concord. And he's saying now that in his mind, the judiciary, in other words, the judges have been impartial, but he feels that the institutions are under threat. Yeah, right.
Interesting.
He says he's never had a phone call from a president or a minister asking for him to interfere in a case. Why would he even say that?
I know.
Why would he even mention
It's like
it?
when the government says there's nothing to worry about. Then
Yeah.
you know there's something to worry
Yeah,
about.
big time. You're very far from the
I'm
mic.
very far from the mic.
Yeah. Hi, Carol. But yeah, thanks for joining us. Like I say, there's a lot to be done, a lot of effort now in the next bit. So the fundraising is super important. We need to raise funds.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Lots of funds, lots of.
Lauren is not a geldkop. Okay, she will just
spend
spend the money. So she doesn't think of collecting funds. No, you don't. It's just how you are. So the other people in OHM, please share the Payfast link, etc. You're gonna have to help Lauren here, but be glad that she's not geldgierig or anything like that. That's why she dumped the DA in the city of Cape Town, left them behind. She hasn't had an income since salary since 2017.
No,
because of that.
That's why I started the workshops, people.
Yeah, so be grateful for that. But it's not good when it comes to fundraising. We need
well,
the
I
OHs to be
wouldn't be
good
able
at
to
that.
do it without a husband, eh? If I was all independent and single, I'd need a job. So thank you.
Faith, yeah, well, faith in everyone else. Remember, this whole plan depends on individuals. It doesn't depend on us. If it depends on us, we'll be.
Yeah, it can be hair raising sometimes. But you know, the growth that we've seen, or the activity that we've seen growing this year, and with the signature collection especially, is very heartwarming. I think it's amazing. So I think there's a lot we can do. A lot we can do with a little. And like I wanted to say earlier, with OHM, we're never going to have metro offices and provincial offices. We're always going to operate like a movement. We're always going to request from our members, as long as a political party is necessary in the current system, we're always going to request from members to help and volunteer. I've always said I might envision paying a national administrator one day, especially if I am in parliament and need help with running OHM. One person. Everything else we outsource or volunteer. That is it. So we'll never have like staff or officers or any of that formal stuff. It's the energy from you guys that are making this a success. It's your energy, your intent. No one's doing it for gain, for their own personal, immediate material gain. Everyone's doing this work for an ultimate vision that we share for South Africa.
And we're using the current system to achieve
magical.
It. Remember, in the current system, we don't believe in. OHM doesn't believe in lists for parties. So OHM has had to put a list together. In parties, they fight for position on that list. In OHM, that doesn't happen. It can't happen.
And I can assume mainstream people might criticize that. But like I said to Lester, OHM is not a country. We're not a state with infrastructure and citizens. We're an organization with a goal, and we need to work as a united team for that goal. So I don't know corporations that are successful or businesses that are successful that operate like a democracy.
Yeah, you walk in and ask all the staff to vote on a decision.
What should we do today?
Yeah. So and this is one of the greatest flaws in democracy. If you don't have an educated, knowing citizenry that actually understands democracy, wants democracy, it cannot work. And that is what's happening right now. The IEC hasn't done enough or hasn't received enough funding to actually do education on the current system so that people understand the flaws.
Yeah, we need a lot of voter education taking place. Do you know, let's India, I'm still going to, I made this video yesterday, I didn't even post it. If you are not registered to vote in your area, if you did not update your address when it was voter registration weekend, of which I think there's quite a few people.
A lot.
And I'll make an infographic.
Or you will be away from your...
Or if you'll be away, whether it's work or personal, doesn't matter. You can apply for Section 24A vote. So you fill in a little form on the IEC website. I'll put it all out on all our social medias today. So just look out for it. And you can register to vote in another province, another metro, another VD. It doesn't matter where.
So they did give a way to do that. And I'm relieved about that.
Also,
very relieved. But many people aren't going to do this.
You also have 60 days in which to do it.
Many people are not going to know about this.
Well, we're going to do everything we can.
Yes, but I'm just saying many people won't know and on voting day will rock up there and there won't be a ballot for them.
It'll be shocking.
Yeah.
So if you've had issues before with your address, go fill out a section 24A form. Very important.
So you're going to share that everywhere.
I'll put it everywhere. So I'm going to make
it.
a video about it. Well, I have made a video. I'll upload a video about it, and there'll be an infographic thing, and maybe I'll even do a slideshow video. All of the above, and then share that everywhere. So just know, everyone that follows OHM on Facebook or Instagram, take those pictures that we put out there, and you can share them with all your contacts. You can make
click on the picture, right mouse click, save image, and then use that.
Send it to your WhatsApp contacts, make it your profile picture, put it on your stories.
Your social media, please.
Yeah, let's not troll people. It doesn't help.
We've never asked that you do that. Yes, people traveling, no, not abroad.
I think the time's up for that, to apply for that.
Yeah, I think the time is up.
Let me check quickly. But I guess all of us have to get to work, eh?
Yeah, I have to go now.
Included.
I have to go now.
Thank you, everyone. If you just go to the IEC's website, Andra, and then on the front page, it has a list of the different scenarios. So see if there's still time for people that are traveling abroad, please. Thanks for joining. We'll chat to you soon. Look out on all of OHM's channels for updates.
Yeah, and go and subscribe to the OHM YouTube channel. Keep well, everyone. Bye.
Bye.